Hey folks, this is Arcaden here with a story video for To a T, the new game about a 13-year-old permanently stuck in a T-pose from Katamari Damacy creator Kieta Takahashi. To a T is a kids and family narrative game, so it's not usually my style, but I really admired the weirdness of Katamari Damacy, and this has a cool pigeon in it, so I gave it a shot. What I found was a silly, lovely story. This video is a summary of that story for those of you who want to kind of experience the Takahashi whimsy, but don't have the time or are not interested in playing this game. And if you're wondering, this video is kids friendly. To a T is about a young teen, who I named Katie, who lives stuck in a permanent T-pose. This makes a lot of basic things like eating or washing up or going to the bathroom hard for her. Luckily, she has an amazing dog, who I named Duffy because they rescued him from Staten Island. In the morning, Duffy helps Katie go to the bathroom, brush her teeth, get dressed, provides fluffy cuteness and some butthole shots. Katie's mom helps out a lot also. She created a special faucet for Katie so Katie can get rid of those morning eye boogers. Katie lives alone with her mom. Her dad died a long time ago, and there's some secret about him her mom hasn't told her yet. We start the game on Katie's 13th birthday. She doesn't want to go to school because she gets bullied because she's stuck in a T-pose, but she goes anyway because, she's a kid, she doesn't have a choice. On the way to school, she picks up a birthday sandwich from Giraffe. Now, Giraffe is one of 4 sisters who makes amazing, tasty food for the community. Sandwiches, popcorn, gigantic corn on the cob, which we learn is delicious with soy sauce and butter, and ice cream. Giraffe is so obsessed with cooking amazing food for the community that she doesn't even sleep in a bed that fits her. Gotta protect that neck. Our story begins as many do, with Duffy taking a satisfying yet gigantic poop on a neighbor's property. Katie starts freaking out about it, but suddenly she is transported into a magic tea world where a voice tells her, spin. And so she does, spinning and picking up speed, which picks up Duffy's poop and sends everyone flying into a tree. The next day in school, Katie is distracted by the fact that, she flew yesterday. She messes up a science experiment in Mr. Mushroom's class. Yes, you know why he's called that. And as a result, she has to deal with having Mr. Mushroom's haircut for the rest of the day. As if that wasn't enough, when eating lunch on the roof, the 3 bullies come up to make fun of her. But then while they're doing that, suddenly, something crashes down from space. It damages the school, and the impact sends one of the bullies, Kanoko, flying. On instinct, Katie starts spinning and flies into the air, saving Kanoko, but injuring her leg in the process. For the next 2 weeks, as the school is repaired and her foot heals, Katie tries to piece together what's going on with her. She watches a TV news segment with Mr. Mushroom, who, instead of talking about what he saw about the incident, asks the news reporter out. He's kinda creepy. Once her foot is healed, she rides her talking unicycle, we'll get to that in a second, to a secret spot in the hedge maze where she practices spinning. She's now being followed by the group of bullies, who are understandably curious about her because, they saw her fly. Katie knocks herself out practicing, but unwilling to accept defeat, she tries again in her backyard. Where, inspired by the serial mascot King Pig, she sees his picture and is like, I should spin like a ballerina. Doesn't quite work, so then she flattens her hands out to look like a helicopter, and then her spinning becomes elegant and effortless. And the bullies are like, wow. And then Miss Swan, the gym teacher, just walks into this random backyard like she owns the place. I mean, what is up with these teachers? Anyway, secretly she always wanted to be a ballet star, so she gets excited and she offers to help Katie learn ballet the next day in school. That next morning, the bullies come to Katie's house and they apologize for being mean. She forgives them, and now she has a new set of friends. There's Kanoko, who practices dark magic. Maruo, who runs a shoe store business because, he just loves sneaks. And then this guy. He wears flip-flops all the time. Right before lunch, Mrs. Swan helps Katie work on the spinning, and it gets to the point where she could control and fly at will. This is great because now she could collect all those weird coins that are hanging out on top of things in her neighborhood. During lunch, Katie and her new friends decide to ask Mr. Mushroom if he knows anything else about what's going on in town. After making an offhand comment about how Katie's aunt is beautiful, seriously, he gets away with it just because of the hair. He then tells them that during the incident, he actually saw this weird shimmering shape go towards the lighthouse. So after school, they all go on their bikes to investigate the lighthouse. This is the moment when Katie learned that it's not normal for a unicycle to talk. She tells them it was made by her father. At the lighthouse, they cry while watching a sunset, which is a little weird, but that's all that happens. On the way home, however, Duffy senses something is going on. For the past few weeks, he's actually felt something unusual in the neighborhood, and he's decided to figure it out. The next day, while Katie is grabbing a sandwich, Duffy slips away to investigate. We know he's investigating because he has a Sherlock Holmes hat. He talks to people. He talks to Mr. DJ Pigeon, who is cool, but apparently not a DJ. He meets Mr. Pigsley, who bears a striking resemblance to King Pig. Mr. Pigsley is reading The Seven Spot, which is a newspaper for the animals in the community, and he suggests seeking out their journalists. Mulbird is one of the journalists, and is an expert on underground affairs, but doesn't really know much of what's going on. Neither does Mr. Froggy Ovan, but at least he's got style. Finally, Duffy gets some help from Ladybug, who is the owner of the Seven Spot newspaper. She tells him that she has a lead, that someone in the alleyway behind her might know what's going on. Turns out, the alleyway is actually the secret workout space for the town's Tree and Shrub Ninja Club. Exploring the alleyway, Duffy meets 3 ninja members. There's Pengustav, who's working on his wing strength so he could fly like other birds. Tortoise-san, who is afraid of heights, so he works out in high places to overcome his fear. And Miss Snailella, who is training to use her clever mind to use size and environment to her advantage. Then there's the Ninja Master, who is a tree that also kinda looks like a shrub. Oh, I get it. Duffy asks the Master about this odd feeling he has, and the Tree Master directs him to the drooling lion statue in the park. Duffy goes there and finds a random cup of espresso, and while he's looking at it, the drooling lion statue eats him. Yeah, this is getting serious, folks. So the next day, Katie and Mom wake up and realize Duffy never returned home. Katie's mom takes a moment to throw some serious shade at her daughter. And together, they start to search the neighborhood for the dog. While they're exploring the mushroom forest looking for Duffy, Katie's mom begins to reminisce about her past when she was a young punk, and she and her sister went searching in the mushroom forest for a particularly tasty mushroom. You see, Mom's sister, Auntie Ichiko, has a restaurant by the water, but it doesn't get a lot of customers, and she's like, oh, if I find this tasty mushroom, that will help. She doesn't think that it's because she makes her customers walk through water to get to the entrance. She keeps it that way because she wants people to confront the reality of climate change. A woman of principle. While they're exploring the mushroom forest, the mom has an odd sense of something following, but she can never quite get eyes on it. Then they see that the mushroom the aunt wants is high up above the ground. Mom uses her expert running skills to run up and grab it, but then she loses her grip and begins to fall to her death. Suddenly, she is saved by a magic flying tea. Back in the present, Katie and Mom visit the auntie's restaurant where they find Duffy is walking on 2 legs, talking like a person, and drinking espresso. Something clearly is going on. They ride the trains back to the house, and the mom in particular takes a moment to note how she likes that trains do their jobs without complaining. Which feels like maybe it's not actually about the train, but whatever. Back at the house, Duffy transforms back into a regular dog, and we discover that he was possessed, I guess, by a refrigerator-shaped alien who asks that they all call him Bob. Turns out Bob was the thing that caused the big accident that damaged the school. Now, Bob comes from what he calls a perfect planet, where everyone is a perfect rectangular shape. He tells Katie, Mom, and friends that he's come to this planet because he received a call for help from their champion. You see, on Bob's native planet, they really like the hammer throw. Like, that is a big deal there. And there was this one square that was like just the best at it, and they called him their champion. But one day, after a particularly difficult throw, the champion's body cracked and broke into a T shape in front of everybody. The champion was ostracized by the rectangle aliens, and so he had to leave the planet. He flew to Earth, where he would save Katie's mom. But T was actually badly injured, and we learned by viewing Mom's memories that she took care of T, and while she did, they fell in love. Now, sadly, T couldn't heal, and he passed away. But turns out, Mom was pregnant. That's right.
Huh?
The alien T is Katie's dad.
Ooh.
And the call for help that Bob heard was not from the champion, but it was actually from Katie when she was having that panic attack over Duffy's poop. Big reveals, people. Big reveals. But that's not it. Bob explains that since he's been on the planet, while he likes the food, he's been very disturbed by how imperfect everything is. So he has decided that he's going to correct Katie and the whole planet. The next day, everybody wakes up to discover what Bob means. Katie's now an actual T, and everyone else has been turned into these refrigerator-shaped beings. Katie takes Bob out to see how people are reacting to this correction. Some are oddly positive about it, liking that they don't have to, change clothes anymore, which I guess I get. And at least it's still easy to tell which direction Duffy is facing. But the ever-wise giraffe tells Bob that the food she makes now looks boring and feels boring. She tells him sometimes perfect is not the most important thing. And Katie's like, yeah, and you know what? I want to do all this stuff as a person. And what does perfect even mean anyway? And why should everybody have to be perfect? And then Bob's like, oh, okay, let's go talk, Katie. Let's go to the train, because I like it. And I like how the doors open and close. Like, so many things working together to make that happen. Don't you think that's cool? And you're like, what? Can we finish the game, please? The train goes into the tunnel, and when they get out of it, Bob has returned Katie and everybody else to their normal shape. See, he learned that perfect isn't everything. In fact, he shares that he has a slightly rounded corner and was made fun of for that on his home planet. So he's always realized that this perfect thing maybe isn't 100% the way to go. Katie tells him that his rounded corner is just his butt, and everybody laughs, and it looks like everybody is pretty happy with who they are. And that's pretty great.